Okay, if you are watching right now, I am trying to find the questions. Two people answered questions, and I think they're right up here. So sorry, everybody. I totally left the screen up. Let me take that down. Here we go. Boom. And then we take down the screen by doing this. Hey, everybody. It's me again. All right. So I'm just answering questions of all kinds right now. This continues to be my experiment to get me more comfortable with making videos online. Not everybody is as comfortable. It's kind of weird sometimes. But I just asked for a couple of questions, and I think there were just like 2 or 3 questions from people. Maybe just two. We'll see. It looks like it's just a couple of my friends that work with me that asked questions. Why don't we just see what they said and see how good of friends they are? Okay, the first question appears to be from Chuk Edelo. I don't know if you know her. Let me actually show you what she's writing over here. Take a look at this. Is that, oh, there you go. All right. So Tuk says, "How much ho would a ho ho if a ho could ho would? How much ho would a ho ho if a okay, first of all, if you're going to pull this joke, I mean, you should at least be able to do the original joke. Like, the original joke is how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood? And then there are variations of it where they change the syllables, like how much put could a push stood stood if a push stood could stood put. But how much hoe would a ho ho if a hoe could hoe wood? No, it's terrible. So Tuke, I'm gonna say about, I don't know, half a tree's worth. Another message also from Tuke. Let's see what she's saying here. Do you prefer curry chicken or lemon herb chicken? I need an answer now, actually, because I need to cook something and I can't figure it out. That's really weird because she's not including cooking for me. So she's just like saying she needs an answer from me about what I prefer, but she's not cooking for me. But I prefer, I would say I prefer lemon herb chicken. I like curry chicken. Curry chicken is delicious, but I prefer lemon herb chicken. And by the way, if you're out there right now and you want to ask a question of any kind, all you have to do is type in your comments and it will beep me and let me know that you're asking a question. And I'd love to hear your questions because Lord knows that these last 2 questions from Tuketlo were, let me tell you, not up to snuff. All right. So looks like Rachel Teichman is up. Another one of my friends asking me questions. And Rachel Teichman, her question is, which big food lobby group needs to disintegrate first to take the next large step toward nutritional equity in America? Oh, this is what I'd call a loaded question. That being said, like there's already a predetermined answer in the asker's mind. Maybe not specifically which big food lobby group. Maybe that answer isn't in the mind of the questioner. But I do think that it doesn't matter because what's really important is getting out this point of view. That's what my guess is from this question. So, which big food lobby group? I don't know. Why don't we go on a little hunt on Google and find out if there's actually a worst food lobby group. So, this is actually something interesting. So, when I used to work for documentary TV shows, I would be a researcher. So I would be like one of the lead researchers on whatever story I would do. So we would learn how to research things on the internet and then narrow them down. And so why don't we do that with this now? Usually we start off really broad by like saying, I would say like, what is the okay, what is the biggest food lobby groups? Okay, or how about this? Are food lobby groups bad? Food lobby groups. Whoops. Lobby, you guys, I don't like spaces. Okay, groups bad. I'm a terrible typist, so I have to sit through this. Is lobbying good or bad? The best influence money can buy. The 10 worst corporate. Here we go. See, we're getting somewhere. Getting somewhere already. Now, Rachel, who is watching this, she already said that there is no single worst group, in my opinion, but I think different actions will make different things happen. Right. But see, her question was which food lobby groups, so she didn't even care. It was really about getting this information out. Just calling it like it is, Rachel. All right. The best influence money can buy. You know what? If you don't care which one, and if they don't, it doesn't matter in your opinion. Then why should I care? You know what? I would tell you what I would do is I would read this article if I wanted to research which one should go down. I would read this article and then I would go through and then I would probably pick two or three that sounded the worst of the companies, and then when I found the ones that I thought were the worst, I would read more articles on them, usually from great sources. Like if I can find stories from a like separate sources, but reliable sources. So like it's like the New York Times and the CDC, but you find out that the New York Times story was not predicated on the research from the CDC. It's like separate. Then if you can find like enough sources that are reliable, that are different sources, then you can actually start thinking that that might be closer to the truth. People don't really do research like that anymore. Like it's it's the world of half a news story is a story. All right, so let's see. Rachel still asking questions. By the way, anybody can ask questions. Rachel is tearing up the comments right now. Rachel says no, she cares, and that she wants to know which lobby group will make the biggest difference if it fails. Okay, well that's a lot of research. I'm not going to do that right now, but I will tell you how to figure it out. So I'm giving you the steps to start doing your own research. I mean, I feel like if I can't answer your question outright because maybe it's too complicated or too out there, then at least I can show you how to start finding the answers yourself. I'm going to call that question answered. Okay. Yes. Corn versus cows versus soy versus chicken. This I don't understand that. I mean, I get that it's something that is some talk that you have in your group of people that want the food lobbyists to go down, but I personally don't know what that argument means. Like, should we eat corn versus a cow versus soy versus a chicken? Because is it, and then what is corn versus soy? Is one of them worse than the other? I have no idea. I mean, if you're gonna talk about, being a vegan or at least a vegetarian, then you'd say that cows and chickens are bad. But is soy versus corn? I mean, where are you gonna go from there? Where are you gonna go? All right. So we have another comment or question. I think it is from Jason. Pop Tarts. That's not even a question. I do like Pop Tarts. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like Pop Tarts. I love them. They're delicious. But I mean, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China right now, huh? Do you guys remember that phrase? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I must have started it in the, I would guess, during the Old West, if the Old West is accurate. Once again, I am sitting here waiting for any questions that you have, and I will answer them. Right now, we don't have the Pop Tart lobby has a stranglehold on Washington. I don't even think that's true, Jason. I think that you're just messing with me, and you're wasting a lot of people's time, Jason. A lot of people came here for facts. Now you're talking about this fake Pop Tart lobbyist. I mean, what are you doing, man? What are you doing with your life? That's the real question. I'm sure your life is fine. Oh my gosh, guys. I had a crazy day today. I don't even want to talk about all of the nonsense. But I'll tell you one thing that did happen today that was really good. I assembled my new chair. Check it out. That is what I'm talking about. I assembled my new chair. I even made a time lapse video of me assembling my chair, which I'm going to show you because where are you going to go? Right? You're a captive audience. So I'm going to try to show you. We'll see if this works. Hold on. Because I'm going to hold it up to the thing and see if that works. Whoops. That's that. Hold on. Is that going to work? Here we go. Oh, that's not good. Hold on. Almost. I'm going to show you. I swear. Okay, I just found that I was showing you the wrong video completely. Okay, now I've got the right video. Here's the right video. Look at that. That's me putting the chair together. I was determined to get that to work. Then Leslie needed something, so I left. And then I came back, and then what? I'm on that chair again. Look at that. Oh, I'm tearing that chair up. Boom. Sitting in my brand new chair. I used to have a chair that was not as comfortable. And when we were stuck in quarantine, I had to sit in that not as comfortable chair a lot more than I normally had to sit in the chair until finally I decided, you know what? I'm going to order a new chair. Took a while to determine what chair I was going to get. I ended up getting a chair that was called an executive chair, but it was also recommended by gamers because it's so super comfy. All right. I am going to read whatever Jason is still writing. Jason, the cycle of farming subsidies is probably a symptom of something weird in government. Are you trying to have a private conversation with Rachel? Because I don't care. I mean, yeah, I don't. I mean, I'll tell you what, I care, but I'm not going to make the effort right now to understand what you're paying people not to grow corn sounds dumb. Is that a thing that's happening, Jason? Are they paying people not to grow? Oh, wait, wait. You know what? I heard something about that. Paying people not to grow corn. Let's find out. Paying people not to grow corn. By the way, this has gotten away from me. Usually, the episodes I do for this are pretty tight, so I'm probably going to delete this episode after I'm done. I think I'm just kind of like hanging out on the internet now. I'm not actually doing anything uh, that I want to keep. But I'm gonna stay here and keep chit chatting for a little while. All right, so paying farmers not to farm, not exactly. Harvest Public says. Why does the government pay farmers to not grow crops? Okay, so this is PBS, so maybe this is a little more reliable. Let's check that out right here. Okay, paying farmers not to grow crops was a substitute for an agricultural price support program. Okay, okay, so I get it. I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but it just looks like they paid people not to grow crops because they wanted. Wait, maybe I will read this. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna bring this over to my other screen so I can take another gander at this. This before I comment on this, I kind of want to know what I'm talking about because it looks like it's more complicated. That's a weird thing I do. Like before I comment on something, I kind of want to know more about it. I know that's crazy. Here we go. Hey Victor, what's the nerdiest thing you've done in ISO? All right. What is the nerdiest thing I've done in ISO? And thanks for asking a question because I was really falling into Jason's trap. Uh, the nerdiest thing I've done. Well, I don't know. That's hard to say because there's so many different levels of nerddom. Uh, I have played Dungeons and Dragons. Recently, I played a game in Dungeons and Dragons with a bunch of people, and we've done it a couple of weeks in a row, and we're gonna continue playing Dungeons and Dragons. So that's pretty nerdy. What would you say the nerdiest thing you've done while you've been in ISO? Isolation. ISO isolation. Right. Yeah, that would be playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm the dungeon master. Since I was a kid, I've always been the dungeon master. When I was younger, I think we switched off more being dungeon masters. Like I would dungeon master, and then this other guy, his name is Tim. He would dungeon master sometimes. I had another friend, his name was Hollier. He would dungeon master. Yeah, I thought what kind of a name is Hollier at the time as well. But yeah, we would switch off dungeon mastering. But as I got older, I guess like being amongst those people who dungeon master were that deep, it would be less and less. So I would end up being the dungeon master, even though I'd be with a group of people who are interested in you know, Dungeons and Dragons. It is what it is. I've been making mixtapes. Oh, you have? Cool. Did you put them up on SoundCloud or something like that? Oh, by the way, I don't know if anybody is into making music, but do you guys know what DistroKid is? DistroKid is this website where you can basically pay, I think it's like $20 a year, and then you can release as many songs as you want, and they will put them on Spotify, on Amazon, and everything for you. They'll handle like all of the back end for you. All you have to do is basically load stuff in it like a database, and then it'll publish your music for you and handle all of the legal, the paperwork and stuff like that, and still allow you to get money from those sales. So like if you were an independent artist who had a lot of people want to buy your stuff, you could release music constantly through this company and then be actually making money. DistroKid, DistroKid. I don't even know why I'm even talking about that right now. Jason says, "You love DistroKid. Yeah, it's great. It's a great thing. It's everybody should use it. If you're not using DistroKid, I don't know what you're doing with yourself." Are there any other questions from anybody else before I guess I'm going to wrap up and sign off, and then I'll delete this video because it's too rambly for my tastes. Sorry, everyone. It's just too rambly. I can hear my wife talking about me in the next room. She's talking about a copy of Little Richard's autobiography, and she's talking to her friend about how funny the book is because I read a passage on my show recently from Little Richard, uh, because Little Richard had passed away, and I read a passage on my show about when he pooped into a jar and hid it in the cupboard for his mother to find. And when his mother found the jar of poop, she knew that Little Richard had done it because he was the only one of her kids who would hide his poop in jars. Long live Little Richard, everybody. Jason, it's been great talking to you. Everybody else, thanks for peppering us with your information. Rachel, great job at whatever you did as well. I'm going to leave. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.